stretch of Northwestern?
Yeah, obviously we had a tough loss at Northwestern. I thought we did a lot of really good things. We outshot them, out-rebounded them, but shot ourselves in the foot, with turnovers and obviously not being able to capitalize on free throw opportunities. So thought we had a really good day of practice yesterday. And then obviously Abilene is, one of the best teams in our league. They come in here 12-3. I think Joe does a really, really good job. This is his 6th year, and he's really built a really good program right now, and they're good. I mean, I think offensively, they're very efficient. They shoot the 3-ball well. They're shooting about 49% from the floor, and then defensively, they're very sound. So obviously, it'll be a tough game, but one we're looking forward to because it's our first conference home game. So it's a big game for us, and every game is big, and but we're looking forward to playing at home.
Coach D, I can't remember I didn't see how their game against Sam finished. I know when I saw at halftime, Sam was up by a lot, but I guess just what did you see from that game when they played Sam?
Well, I think, anytime you go on the road in league, it's, it's a challenge, and, scouting reports get intensified, and I thought Sam came out with a really good game plan, and they played obviously very well, and we watched the game as a staff, and then, I believe made some great adjustments at halftime and had a chance going down the stretch. But, those are two really good teams. But I'm really impressed with Joe's group. I think that they've really built it over the course of a few years, and those guys now are juniors and seniors, and they've been through the wars, and they're a good basketball team.
So with the turnovers, I know it's unforced. So it's really tough. Or not every one of them is unforced, but a lot of them are unforced or like kind of pivoting, head fakes and everything like that. Is that just a case of you just got to keep practicing, keep telling the kids what to do, or is it like something strategic? Like, what do you do with that?
You just keep teaching. A lot of our turnovers all year have been, just a lot of unforced turnovers. And, like we came back Monday morning and we showed everyone. And we've done that a lot. We continue to teach and work through it. And the hard part is that, when you look over our season up to this point, we're probably 7 or 8 possessions away from, being, 9-6 or 10-5. And a lot of those have to do with, a couple, unforced turnovers here and there. And it goes back to the process of understanding what it takes to really win at a high level, at this level. Every possession matters, and being able to take advantage of opportunities that, when you present themselves. I mean, I think one thing that we've done a really good job of is not putting people on the free throw line this year. And but when we get there, we obviously have to be able to capitalize. So we've gotten better in a lot of ways. I think that we've evolved as a team in a lot of ways. But we got to be able to take care of the basketball. Coming down the stretch here in January and February.
On the possessions and the turnovers and the free throws and maybe the ups and downs of outside shooting. I don't know if you can put it on you, because I think you've got some experience, especially in the early rotation. So is it ingraining the understanding that every time you step to the line, especially in conference, it matters? Every ball you throw awry, it matters. Does it come down to that, really impressing that upon?
Oh, I think so. I mean, we've talked about that all year, and we've really talked about it, when we got home. Obviously Northwestern State had a good game plan, and they played well and won the game. But I always talk about, being able to control the controllables. And, I think that sometimes we just have to be, you look at the game last night, the national championship game. I mean, turnovers, you can't defend them. You can't defend pick sixes, and it's hard. So we have to obviously take care of the ball, but we'll get better at it. I think we've evolved and we've gotten better as the year progressed, but it's been Achilles heel for us for sure.
It seems like you've gotten to the, 8-man rotation that you want. Is there anything going forward that could change it outside of injuries, of course?
Sure. I mean, I think that, right now we're in a pretty good rhythm with an 8-man rotation. I think, obviously 3 games ago we started a smaller lineup and put another guard on the floor to try to give us some more space to put more ball handling on the floor. I think that's helped us. I mean, it's really helped us rebounding wise, with Shamarcus and Roydell playing, with each other. I mean, their numbers have been really good. And obviously, having an experienced guy and a guy that, understands that role and accepts that role with Malik, being able to be the first big off the bench. And, and I think, again, obviously bringing KJ and Will off the bench, those guys, have to do a really good job. And I've talked to them about elevating their play and elevating our play when they go into the game. But, when you get into league play, most people kind of settle into a 7-8 man rotation, and I think we've done that too.
I'm sure you covered this already, but how is Malik handling coming off the bench as your first option? How is that for him?
I mean, yeah, he's been great. I mean, he's been around a long time, and he just wants to help the team win. That's his biggest thing. And we talked a little bit after Christmas, and he's the one that said, he goes, Coach, why don't we just bring me off the bench? And so I mean, he's he's a great kid. He's got a great future, and sometimes playing smaller guys is a challenge. It's different. And I think sometimes too, the referees, seeing a guy that big and that physical, I think that he has to adapt to the whistle a little bit, in this league. And I think those have been adjustments for him. But he's a great teammate. He's a good player, and he's one obviously that we're going to need a lot of production from coming down the stretch.
So, Coach, you're happy with Touchette in his new role now? He's going to be there for a while.
I do. I think Trey brings a lot to the table. I think he brings a lot of intangibles to the table, Ron. I think that you look at our rebounding numbers since he's went in, and they're actually better. I think that at Incarnate Word, his ability to potentially knock down shots, put another ball handler on the floor. I think those are really some intangibles that TT brings. He's a connector for us on the floor. He's a guy and a connector. By what I mean by that is, he connects guys on a team. He communicates. He sees the play ahead and helps guys get into the right rotations and things like that. And especially in our zone, in the back of it, he's been invaluable back there. He's been great. So yeah, I'm really happy with Trey. And it goes back to the same thing. I mean, there's a guy who didn't play a lot early, and then when his number was called, he stayed ready. His attitude was always been positive, and I'm happy to that he's had success, and it's something that we're going to obviously hope to build on.
Coach, I'm just curious. I'm assuming that might have been your first introduction with Dave Simmons, the former coach here. Was that your first?
It was.
Mm-hmm. If you can share that, did y'all talk? Did you?
Yeah, we exchanged pleasantries. I mean,
yeah.
I told him that he has a lot of friends in this community, and I think Coach Simmons is a really good guy, and heck, was here 12 years, mm-hmm. And as a coach to coach, we all understand how tough this profession is. And I just, told him that, I respected him as a person, and, and I wish him nothing but the best. And he just said the same thing, and obviously we're paraphrasing, but, it was more than cordial. It was fine.
With regards to Malik, and I know you briefly mentioned it, but how important is it for him to stay out of foul trouble, especially being one of your first guys off the bench? Because I know against Northwestern, I think he had like 4 fouls in 10 minutes. So he's got to stay out of that foul trouble, especially if he's going to be one of your key guys off of the bench.
It's really important, and it's something that Malik has kind of struggled with, especially since we did our last couple games, and. I think that we talked a little bit about it on Sunday, is that he just has to get a rhythm and has to get a feel for, every league is different. As a coach, it's taken me a while to understand this league just after two games. But this league is different than any league I've been in. So just as a coach, being able to try to adjust to that. And as players, when you're used to playing in another league, and coming down, things are just different. And it's taken him a little bit to adjust, but he's been around a long time, and I'm sure he'll adjust and be fine going down, in January, February.
What is it?
Well, I'm curious again. Probably follow with David's going to ask. Probably. What 1 or 2 things that makes this league different?
I think the style of play. You know, it's a very fast-paced league. It's a big guard, physical guard league. You know, I think that the guards and the wing players are big and physical. You know, I think that you know, just the way people play and as physical as they are, pressuring the basketball and the ball screen coverages and the different defenses that you see. You know, those things are different than than most leagues in the country.
Coach, it's really about trusting the process with you. Ever since you've gotten here, are you still is that still something that's, you know, in the locker room?
Absolutely. You know, you know, you just look at a guy like Shamarcus about the process. The first time he caught the ball against St. Mary's in a Division I game, he took about 4 steps. Okay, and now, you know, you look at him and there might not be a better big in our conference. I don't know. I mean, but he's playing really, really well. So you look at all those little things about the process. Absolutely. I mean, you know, I understand what I inherited. You know, I understand over the last 29 years what the program has been, and I understand what our schedule was like when I first, you know, in this year. So for sure, I mean, this is you know, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You know, not only this season, but as the program gets built. You know, so we talk about that a lot. We talk about that a lot with this year's team, and then we talk a lot about that, obviously, as a program.
With Shamarcus, is something I just thought about. How big was it, even though the team as a whole struggled with free throws? I know at the end of the game he had to go to the line, I believe, 4 times in the last minute. And I want to say he made either 3 out of 4 or made all 4 of them. And, you know, I could hear somebody in the stands that was yelling, you know, you fouled the right guy. So I guess just how big is it for him from a confidence standpoint, even though it was a loss, that he was able to step up to the free throw line in that pressure situation and make those free throws?
Well, you know, he's a pretty solid free throw shooter. You know, I want him to, you know, we talked about this, you know, I want him at the end of this year to become over 70%. I want him next year to be at 80%. But right now he's shooting 70% from the floor. You know, he's just getting better and better. You know, he's only 20 years old. He's got a really bright future. I'm excited about Shamarcus in his development, and you know, I have a lot of confidence when he's on the free throw line. Obviously, you know, we missed some free throws and a lot of opportunities in one-on-ones at Northwestern State. But you know, the good thing is we executed our game plan and we got there. Now we just got to step up and make those plays, and just like Shamarcus did towards the end.